Willkommen zu einer neuen Folge von Renains of Edith Finch. Letzte Folge haben wir Menschen gegessen und dein Kind besessen. Ich glaube, das hier ist eine Abflussrohr mit dem Jungen. Oder mit... Ja, es geht nach oben. So stelle ich mir das vor, wenn ich auf dem Pott sitze. Krieg solche Angstzustände. Sind wir in dem Zimmer von dem Mädchen? Okay.
I got closer and closer.
Ich hab gesagt, wir sind nicht wirklich draußen. Ich hab's gesagt. Die liegt immer noch im Bett, hab ich gesagt. Darf ich nicht das Bett hoch? Vielleicht von hier aus?
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Nee, ich wollte jetzt nicht unbedingt raus. Ich wollte nur das Bett noch schauen. Ja, okay, dann das Bett von
This
dem
will be
nicht.
obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Okay. Also direkt am Meer. Fensterhof. So, jetzt.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Ah. Built 1937. Sven Finch.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
72-year-old woman refuses to evacuate because of a little forest fire. Klar. Little forest fire, sowas auch
I hadn't
in
thought of myself as Edith
Australien.
Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
With a family day out? Ach so, okay.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Das Sven war natürlich ein Norweger.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Warum schaut mir das Auge so an?
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Nice. Ah, Molly, Barbara, Calvin, Sam, Calvin Klein, Walter, Dawn, Gus, Gregory, Levis, Milton, Edith. Sind das die Kinder? Enkelkinder
The
von
room
der?
is like a museum.
Das hier ist Odin, der Vater von der. Mystery of Death and Philcraft. The Mysteries of Death and Philcraft. Joining the great majority. Bird. Das ist mal ein Regal. Oh.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune.
Wir sind in Norwegen.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann.
Gebirg. Ja, okay.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
And his house?
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Ah.
Odin's daughter Edith, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Mhm.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Okay. Nothing creepy
His
until
daughter
now.
Edith is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Lacht so komisch, ich krieg Angst. Okay, das ist einfach nur wieder von vorne. Okay. Sehr schön. Es gibt also einen Curse.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Okay, ein Curse, der uns alle umbringt. Auch mich. Toll.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Sieht ein bisschen aus wie die Queen. Aber das sind alle alte Leute, die in dem Alter sind.
The
That's a
only
Friedel.
trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Hey! Ach so, ja, falls man nicht mehr fehlen kann. Wir wundern, warum ist ein Stuhl da drin? Das war das von Best Friend und Edith Finch. Oh ne, jetzt so eine Sache wie vorher? Na, auf geht's.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Ah. Oh,
Sven
das
gave
ist
Sam
ein...
an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Das ist so ein... Wer ist es? Dunkelkammer. Der gekrabbelt. Milton war hier. Bisschen creepy, aber... Naja, was soll's. Im Zimmer von einem kleinen Jungen. Fort Calvin. Get from Sam. Das kleine Band
I
hält
knew
nie auf,
Grandpa
ne?
Sam had a twin.
Er war also der Soldat und der andere war der, okay. Ah. Er hat so schön welche Runterspringen hätte können.
And
Ja,
that he
es
never
ist
talked
sogar...
about him.
Ist sogar so aufgebaut. Er hier Soldat. So America. Er hier Astronaut.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Ja?
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Jo, wir haben Broken Dinger. Yay! Yay, ein
My
Fuß.
brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Was?
At
Yay.
Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again.
Yay!
And he wasn't. I think Calvin always
Yay.
wanted to fly.
Yay! Okay.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
Hey, ich
But
spring jetzt
that day,
runter.
he finally made up his mind to do it.
Was? To do what?
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Keine gute Idee. Nochmal höher.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
Bin ich Calvin?
I think he'd already made up his mind.
Bist du ziemlich hoch?
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Ist so ziemlich hoch.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Holy shit. Er ist also von der Schaukel geflogen, die irgend so ein Idiot dahin gebaut hat.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Ah, voll Idiot. Hoffentlich kommt sie nur negativ zurückgeschossen, ne?
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Geht's hier durch?
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Navy beigetreten. Also nicht der Navy, der Army. Keine Ahnung, was beigetreten ist. Wer kann Edith? Kann kein Lost sein, Alter. Ganz ehrlich, der kann verschwinden von hier. Der Hebel. Da oben. Book. Stairs, okay. Rein hier. Ich könnte auch ein Obdachloser leben, ohne dass
The
jemand bemerkt.
passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Aber ich jetzt nicht raus. Nämlich hier gehen wir weiter. Jetzt geht's zum Alle wieder in den Raum.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Hier ist nur eine Puppe, okay. Hey, hi.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Oh nee, sag jetzt nicht bitte. Nein.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Das ist...
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been.
Oh.
But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Oh, I don't think so.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned.
Da hab ich schon
So
gedacht.
Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box,
Ah, ich darf drehen, okay.
and as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Und ist da unten jetzt Jason oder wie? Hi. Gut, nicht gut.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Ja, Waffe. Komm, nimm sie mit. Yo, Rick? Bin der?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Achso, das ist vom Vater die Sache. Ja, okay, das ist mir auch egal. Zack! Trainieren. Ich glaube, das sieht aus wie eine verwesene Leiche, aber nein.
Finch rattled and grew still.
Hi!
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused.
She threw him out,
Oh.
but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Sind die so laut sagen, ganz ehrlich. Also ich weiß nicht, wie viele Menschen hier schon gestorben sind, aber... Come on. Zack. Zack. Ey, schlag dich. Das ist das Ding sogar noch offen. Darf ich hier rein? Nö. Ey, ich hätte ausrutschen können. Pass doch auf. Pass doch mal auf, ey. Hi, Walter.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Nice. Ich hätte die Treppe runtergehauen.
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara,
Finch.
there's gotta be a...
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Well, shit, what I say.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Okay. BAM! Stop!
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Wird nicht so langsam laufen, Barbara. Zack, ich würde nochmal hauen. Und zack, nochmal hauen. Sag aber bitte nicht, dass er umgebracht wurde von dem Typen. Ja, natürlich ist er weg.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Ding dong, Ayamanda. Let me guess. Hier wird von hinten gegrabt und dann zack, Schnurl weg.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh well.
Dear.
Oh dear. Ja.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For
Was?
Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to Yes. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Wilde Lache. Aber ist es jetzt wirklich passiert? Bitte sag nein. Oh. Hoffen mal nein. Bitte sag nein.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Hoffen mal so. Ich würde auch sagen, mit dem Ende von Edie ist auch die Folge jetzt zu Ende. Entschuldigung. Und in der nächsten Folge wieder. In der wir erkunden, was eigentlich in dem Scheißhaus los ist. Tschö.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.